Hey guys, what's up? This is Back in Handyman here with a little tutorial on how to caulk. Before I started doing this, I watched like an hour's worth of YouTube videos to find some of the most helpful ways to do it, because like most people, caulking gives me anxiety because you can make a really big mess of it and mess things up. How to make it look like a professional. Let's just say that. So you have your caulk, you have your caulking gun, then you just take one of them sanding sponges that you use for drywall, go up there and clean it all up. And of course you get it, after you get it all cleaned up, get that out of there. In order to get the perfect bead, and see we're caulking the whole floor. You get you one of these no drip guns. You can get one that has the little lever here that lets off of it. But this one here, it's nice because you don't have to watch it as much, because when you let them sit and walk off, the caulking, if you forget to release the tension on the plunger, the caulking will slowly come out. Which, the way that I do my caulking, if you don't watch it, it will still happen. But most of your caulking guns will have a hole right here, if not all of them. And the trick to get a good caulk line is to barely nip that tip. There we go. And the smaller the tip, the more fine detail you get. And then you get you some sandpaper, put it in the corner that you were working with. You just take your caulk, roll your caulk up and down like that. What that does is make it to where it is beveled, to where you get in them corners a little bit better. Now, you got your caulking right. Get ready to lay your bead. It's nice to have a marker, and you mark where the longest part is, like that. And now, whenever you go to put your caulk in there, look at that little line, man. A little on top. A little over here on top. And a little right there in that corner. The smaller you have this hole, the more likely even a no drip will drip silicone. So just make sure it's not coming out the tip. This hole I think is about perfect to where it won't, so I just set it over the sandpaper. That way if it does come out, I don't have anything to worry about. Now the biggest trick, wetting in your finger. Never touch the silicone with the dry hand. It makes the mess so much less. Down. And come back. Just like that. Now the secret weapon is this right here. If you get too much caulk on your trim, you can take this, just run it, clean it up. You got 4 corners. You can get that with. And that makes it to where it don't scoop it out of a corner. So clean that looks. Now if you notice here, I haven't filled in those holes. I'll show you how to fill those in after you go through and you get all the large cracks and the seams going from the trim to the wall. You go through and do all that with the caulking. You just want it all sealed up so that you don't have any kind of problems. I'll show you what I use for these little nail holes and the corners. Another nice thing to do, you can use tape to do this, but I like to use the wire nut because that mark shows you where you're going to be putting in the corner, right? If you use the tape, you'll wipe that mark off. So I use the wire nut, just screw it on the end there. Works pretty good. I just wanted to show you how much of a godsend this sponge is. Look how much it cleans it up. The wet sponge is a miracle worker. It saves the mess. Makes it look good too. Rub my caulk in this crack. Since I got it all caulked, I'll show you how to fill them little holes and what to use for that. Okay, now when it comes to filling the holes that's left by the trim nailers, I see some people that like to use the caulking. You just put a little bit on there. And you can just take it like that. Cover the holes. You can fill this one. Take our knife. Kind of putty it in there. Then there's also wood filler. You can use that and just get you one of these little tubes of it. And you put a little bit right there, right there. You can take it, kind of smooth it out with your putty knife. Kind of make it look like that. Then there's my favorite, drywall mud. Now the big difference between drywall mud and the wood filler, drywall mud's easier to sand. I just use one of them sand sponges, go over the top of it real quick and boom. With drywall mud, it's that fast. You don't have to sit there and sand at it for very long because it's drywall mud. It just sands like butter. I prefer this over wood filler because it's easier to sand. I prefer this over silicone because silicone's a lot more messy, in my opinion. Then after they dry, you just come and do a little light sanding so that you don't have any rough spots. And there you go. That's how you fill in these holes. A lot of people use the silicone to do it because they already got the silicone out. They're doing just fine with it. But I like this because it makes it more of a hard surface. All right, and this is to show what it looks like after it's painted. That is the silicone one.
Come into my room, I want to show you something. Well, I have a game for you.
And you can see that the...
Do you want me to gift it to you?
Wood filler one.
It's top 3 and 5.
Here's the wood filler one.
Ancient Dungeon VR.
The one with the drywall mud, you can't even see it there. And it's the easiest to sand. It's the easiest to fill. Like you can see the ones with silicone still dip in a little bit. And right over here, you can't tell where. I think it's right there. 2 boards actually come together. And some people are going to tell me, why don't you use regular base mold? Because I like to go backwards with my molding. That way I can do these 45-degree cuts and make it look like a continuous string of molding. See, up there, you go around your door frames. I was trying to go with a trimless install on this room, but the flooring is just too hard to lock together when you're trying to slide it under the wall too. So that's why that didn't work. All this molding has been silicone to the floor, and after I get done touching up on the walls, I'll pull this paper tape up and let you see what all I got going on, how good it looks. And if you notice the white, I still have to come through and do the gray over the top of it, but that's what it's coming to. Anyways, like, subscribe, thanks for watching. Share, donate, I don't care. Just keep up the good work out there. And you all have a good day.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to help support the channel, check out the links in the description. They are my recommended items, as well as some of the things in the video. If you purchase through the provided links, a small portion of that goes back to me. Like, subscribe, and share.